So what exactly was the fallout from SmackDown Live's pay-per-view Fastlane with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Shane McMahon? We're going to find out. This is Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. Let's do it. Hello, all you pro wrestling marks and proud. Welcome to Calling Spots with Bryan Kelly. I am Bryan Kelly, and what a fantastic week of wrestling we had. Ring of Honor 16th anniversary on Friday. Fastlane, a fantastic Fastlane on Sunday. A great Raw last night on Monday night, and then a fantastic SmackDown as well. Wow. WWE is doing some great stuff. I don't care what you say. I like it. I've been entertained, and that's why wrestling's cool. It's all subjective. It's all what you like. Somebody's favorite wrestler is Kurt Hawkins. I'm just saying. So we start off in Indianapolis, Indiana on the 13th of March in the year of our Lord 2018 with AJ Styles coming out to the ring because they don't want none. And he comes out and he does an in-ring promo where he says, "At Fastlane, the odds were against me. Unbelievable, but not impossible. I won." Then he starts to pimp WrestleMania and saying, "I found a way, and I'm going to WrestleMania. And I'm a hard worker. And Shinsuke, I'm going to beat you." Typical pimping WrestleMania. Typical, I overcome the odds because that's who I am. And then Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits, and Shinsuke comes out. And Shinsuke does a promo. He says, "Everybody likes you. Everybody likes me too. And I respect you. And at WrestleMania," I said it like he did, "at WrestleMania, dreams come true. And my dream is a knee to your face." So, and I become champion. Knee to your face, I become champion. So they're getting kind of chippy, a little, and then Rusev's music hits, and Rusev comes out with Aiden English. Rusev looks like $1,000,000. Fight mode. Shinsuke goes over to the commentary table and just sits there. I don't think he said much. I don't remember him saying much, but he just sits over near commentary because we're going to have Rusev versus AJ Styles. With Aiden English on the outside. It's a great match. Rusev actually dominated quite a bit of this match. Made Rusev look really, really great. Made Rusev look really, really strong. I love Rusev. I think he does great work. He's one of the only guys in the company that I agree, should be doing a little more than he is, but they're working on that. AJ fighting for a calf crusher near the end, and Rusev grabbing onto the rope and doing everything he can, and he finally gets the calf crusher locked in, and then Aiden English jumps up on the apron, rolls into the ring, and starts beating on AJ. The ref calls for the bell. You can't do that. And Aiden and Rusev start ganging up on AJ Styles. And Shin slowly starts to get up out of his seat. Should I help him? Should I help him? Yeah, I think I'm going to help him. So he jumps in the ring, knees to the face, and runs those guys out. And him and AJ kind of look at each other like, "I got you this time, but don't you think for 1 second that means I'm not taking that title." Then we get a video package from Fastlane featuring the Usos and New Day being utterly destroyed by the Bludgeon Brothers. Just, man, if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It was awesome. And then we get a backstage interview with Big E where he talks about, "Hey, man, I wish I could tell you that we proved the Usos wrong and that we're here as your new 5-time tag team champions, but that didn't happen because of the Bludgeon Brothers." And then Jimmy interrupts. Before that, he goes, "Don't worry about Kofi and Xavier. They'll be fine." But then Jimmy comes in and he goes, "Hey, man, don't worry about that. They got my brother, too. All that crap that you were going through, let's just put that shit on pause and let's you and me go out there and get some shit done." So I guess they're going to tag team up and take on the Bludgeon Brothers. Seems like a mistake to me, but I guess we'll see. We go to commercial. We come backstage, and we got AJ, who's kind of, he just had a hard match with Rusev, but he won, so he's kind of, working his shoulders out and doing his thing. And Shinsuke walks up, and he goes, "Hey, man, I didn't need your help. I had it. I don't need your help." And Shin says, "I'll always help until WrestleMania, and then I'm going to beat you with a knee to your Georgian face." He didn't say that Georgian part. I put that in. But he said, "Knee to the face." Pops the crowd. AJ looks off like, "This motherfucker. Swear to God." And then we get Jimmy Uso coming out first. And then Big E comes out so we can have this match against the Bludgeon Brothers. Stern Big E. Not laughy Big E. Not smiley Big E. Fucking NXT mad Big E walking out to the ring. We're supposed to have a tag team match, but Uso and E jump the Bludgeon Brothers as they're coming out from their entrance, coming down the ramp, and Big E and Jimmy just can't take it no more and jump them. They go in, they get chairs, and the Bludgeon Brothers grab their mallets, and they get into the ring, and they kind of go, "Are we going to do this? Are we going to do this?" The crowd starts amping up. The ref goes, "You know what? Y'all work this shit out," and dives out of the ring. It was great. Bludgeon Brothers swings the mallets, hits one of the chair, misses the other one. The Uso and E slide out of the ring, are just kind of hanging back, watching these guys with their mallets. We go to a commercial. We come back from the commercial, and apparently we've established some sort of order. Got the chairs put away, the mallets put away, and we're going to have a regular old tag team match between Big E, Jimmy Uso, and the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers pretty much squash Big E and Jimmy. They get a couple of good moves at the beginning of the match and get in a couple of good shots, but it was pretty much just a gosh darn squash from the get-go. And, a little bit of extra bell activity of them making sure they get the point that we're here now. This isn't about you. It's about us. After that, we go to commercial. We come back from a commercial, and we got a video package about the 6-way at Fastlane, including Shane pulling out Kevin Owens, pulling out Sami Zayn, and AJ finally retaining with a phenomenal forearm to Kevin Owens' face. We get a backstage interview with Sami Zayn where Sami says, "Shane screwed me, and I played everyone, and I was that close. I should be the champion right now. But once again, it's all about Shane." Kevin Owens starts to dig on Kevin Owens a little bit, kind of setting up them. And then we get Charlotte coming out to the ring as an entrance after the backstage interview with Sami Zayn is over. She gets in the ring and she says, "I'm honored to call out Asuka and have her come out here and let's talk about this WrestleMania thing." She calls out Asuka. Asuka comes out and Asuka says, "I wanted the best. That's why I'm here. That's why I called you out. And no one is ready for Asuka." It was really good little in-ring promo between Asuka and Charlotte. And then Randy Orton interrupts their promo. Not interrupts. They were done. But then instead of hitting Charlotte's music and letting them walk off, they did the same thing last week to I believe it was the Riot Squad who was in the ring. And they just hit Bob Roode's music while Charlotte was standing there. Really strange shit. So Randy comes out and does an in-ring promo and says, "I've been called many things in my 16-year career, but I've never been called the United States Champion," which he is now. He said, "Bobby earned my respect last night, and I'm taking this title to WrestleMania, and no one is going to stop me." And that hits Bobby's glorious music. And Bobby starts to come out, gets in the ring, does an in-ring promo, and says, "Congrats, Randy, you got me. You were the better man last night, and you got me. But I have a rematch. And that rematch is happening at WrestleMania." To which the crowd went, they're not digging Bobby Roode lately. I don't know what it is, but that crowd could not have given a fuck about this segment once Bobby Roode got involved. It was really, really strange. That leads to Jinder interrupting and saying, I would like to congratulate Randy also. You've been here 16 years and you finally got a title that it took Bobby Roode 2 months to get. Congratulations. Now sit down at commentary and watch me beat this guy the way you couldn't or shouldn't or took a while to do. I don't know. It's kind of confusing the way he said it. And the way I beat you last week. So Randy goes over to commentary because we have a Bobby Roode Jinder Mahal match. And Jinder and Bobby, it's okay. It's typical Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode. You know, they go at each other a little bit. Everybody gets their shots in. Nobody's really dominating. At one point, Sunil tries to block Bobby from going up to the top rope, and Bobby kicks him out of the way and then climbs over him and gets up to the top anyway. But the distraction of Sunil doing that, gave Jinder enough time to get up, walk over, throw Bobby off or push Bobby's legs out, make him, do that thing, pull him down, and then coloss him for Jinder to win. So now 2 weeks in a row, Jinder's been the U.S. champion and the former U.S. champion consistently. So that's starting to shape up to be a good WrestleMania 3-way. I think that's going to be awesome. After this, Randy slides into the ring and gives Jinder an RKO out of nowhere. Bam. It was so beautiful. I love when he does that. Randy celebrates. Jinder's in pain. Bobby's in pain. The U.S. title is held aloft. And we go to a commercial. We come back from a commercial and we have KO backstage interview. And he's pretty much saying the exact same things that Sammy did. I got screwed by Shane. I can beat Sammy whenever I want. Why is this happening to me? Why do they keep doing this to us? He insults Sammy quite a bit. Like I said, Sammy insulted him during his, and now KO's lobbing insults back. And that was really good. Good little backstage segment. Broken Lizard, 3 of the guys from Broken Lizard, the guys who did Super Troopers and Club Dread and Slammin' Salmon and Super Troopers 2, Beer Fest. We're sitting right behind commentary. 3 of the guys, Eric and I can't remember, a couple of the other guys. But that was really cool seeing those guys there. I guess they're doing some game night stuff with Heath Slater and those guys. And a couple of other backstage segments dressed as their Super Troopers gear, which I don't know if that has to do with trailers or I don't know what's going on, but it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. After that, we get Naomi coming out because she's going to have a match with Carmella. We go to a commercial. We come back from Mella's entrance, and Mella's awesome and looking wonderful. She does a cell phone promo where she talks about, I'm just like Fabulous Moolah, and I'm repping Fabulous Moolah, and she shouldn't have done that. She was probably the only one who was willing to do it, to be honest with you. So Naomi and Carmella have a good match. It's a little hair pulley at first. I don't like when the girls pull hair. It's such a typical girly thing, to rip on each other's hair and shit. So they do that. It's a decent match. Mella was great. It was very short. Mella ended up winning by Naomi went to do her back kick thing where she ricochets off the ropes and back kick. And when she went to do that, Carmella pushed the middle rope out from under her. So she was kind of sitting on it and then grabbed her by her hair again and slammed her down to the ring and then just kind of rolled her up and pinned her. It was weird. No finisher, just kind of pinned her. Strange. Short match. Not a great match, I guess, now that I think about it. We go to commercial and we come back to Shane McMahon entrance. And this is the end of, this has been a really short pod. I might just put this one on the end of the Raw pod. That way they're kind of the same because this is going to be like a 20-minute show. So Shane comes out and he says, yeah, okay, so I might have had a problem with Sammy and Kevin for a while, and I might have let that affect some of the decisions that I've made. So, but it started with these guys attacking my dad. They shouldn't have attacked my dad. And then Sammy saved Kevin at the last second when I was about to get retribution for KO headbutting my dad. And he screwed that up and saved him at Hell in a Cell right here. I don't know why he didn't say right here in Detroit, because that's where it all happened. And he says, but here's what I'm going to do. Next week, Daniel Bryan's going to be back as commissioner. And when he comes back, I am taking an indefinite leave of absence so that I can get my head together and figure out what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And Daniel Bryan will be back next week. And people booed. People booed Daniel Bryan coming back. I don't know why. People booed. Shane even did this yet. Like, oh, you know, yes thing. And nobody did it. People almost started chanting no. I don't know what the fuck that was about. And he said he was taking a leave of absence, but he said, before I do take my leave of absence, I want to say that I'm making one more match for WrestleMania. I am making Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Thank you so much. Good night, SmackDown. His music starts to play and then is interrupted by Kevin Owens' music. And KO starts to walk out to the ring and give a ramp promo saying, I don't need to wait to WrestleMania. I can beat Sami Zayn whenever I want. You're just doing this because, and as he starts to talk, Sami interrupts him and walks out, and he goes, you're just doing this to Shane because these people loved seeing us at Fastlane beat the crap out of each other. And if your decisions are based on what these people want, then thank God you're leaving. Shane says, I still don't understand you guys. I'm never going to understand it. I give you guys an opportunity at the grandest show of them all, WrestleMania, to fight it out, and you're still not happy. And KO goes, well, yeah, that's true, Shane. Well, we appreciate that, and I think you'll appreciate this. And Sami cold cocks Shane, and they start to beat Shane down. Shane fights back, tries to get some shots in, fights back, gets beat down, fights back, gets beat down, and then finally it's just too much for him. He takes a haluva kick in the corner. Beautiful haluva kick from Sami. And Sami does this awesome thing where as soon as he hits it, he gets this look on his face of pure joy. It's such subtle, great acting and character work. I hope people appreciate it. But he smacks him with that haluva kick, and then the camera goes in on Sami, and he's just like, I've been wanting to do that for fucking months. It was beautiful. And then KO pop-up power bombs him, and they're like, we're not done yet. So they roll him to the outside, and they get a steel chair. Sami goes over to the timekeeper's area and grabs a chair and brings a chair over. Kevin goes, set it down. So he sets it down, and they stick Shane in between it and then slam him into the ring post. Blah, blah. And Shane's selling, choking and everything. And they're like, you want to leave? Well, let's help you leave. And they both grab one of Shane's arms and start dragging him up the ramp. And they're both yelling at him, but Sami's going, nah. Come on, Shane, let's leave. And they drag him to the back. And they start dragging him through the back, and they're going to drag him. Presumably, they're dragging him out into the parking lot for him to leave. Or to throw him in the trash or whatever the fuck. So as they're dragging him through the back, Kevin stops and goes, wait, one more thing. And he picks Kevin up and power bombs him on this steel. It almost looked like a lift. You know, one of those accordion type lifts where they go up and it goes like that and then it comes down and it flattens. It almost looked like one of those, like a lift, crane type lift thing. And power bombs him on his back hard on this thing, dude. It looked rough. And I think Shane got the wind knocked out of him, or he's a really good actor because he was doing this thing And I've never heard anybody audibly kind of make that noise on Raw before selling anything. So I think he got the wind knocked out of him when that happened, and it was an involuntary reaction. Or he was just selling it and it was fucking fantastic. One of the two. But they beat his ass, man. They made that shit look rough, brother. Rough. It did not look great. I mean, it looked great, but it did not look great for Shane McMahon at all. And that's how we ended the show, with Shane writhing in pain, Mike Chioda and the referees. I forgot to say that Kevin grabbed one of the refs and tossed him out of the ring. I think it was Eddie Tran, if I'm not mistaken. And just Mike Chioda's back there, and they're trying to get help for Shane. They're getting the stretcher out and everything, and Shane's making that weird noise like he got the wind kicked out of him. So very good SmackDown Live. There were a couple of things where I was like, oh, all right. But overall, it was a great weekend of wrestling. You guys got to check out Ring of Honor and Honor Club if you haven't already. Honor Club is kind of like the WWE Network, except you get half off on their pay-per-views, which is still cool. And you can watch all of their current television shows as well as the older shows with, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and all those guys, the pay-per-views those guys were involved in, Samoa Joe. Really great. You get deals on the merchandise and stuff. The only reason I'm mentioning that is because that's how I watched Ring of Honor's 16th anniversary on Friday was Honor Club. It's like $8 a month, I believe, or something like that. Check that out if you like Ring of Honor, you like the Young Bucks, you like the Bullet Club, and all of that kind of stuff. They're over on Ring of Honor quite a bit. As a matter of fact, Kenny was at this pay-per-view and made a surprise appearance. I won't tell you what it is in case you want to go watch that yourself. But yeah, check that out. Honor Club, Ring of Honor, that was great. Then we had a great Fastlane, really good Fastlane, probably the best Fastlane I've ever seen that has been, since they've been doing them. So you should check that out on the WWE Network if you haven't already, or check out the highlights on YouTube somewhere. Or how about this show? You can check out the review that I did a couple of days ago on Fastlane 2018. Then we had a fantastic Raw with Roman getting suspended and seeing Vince on TV and telling Roman to know his role and shut his mouth, apparently. And Braun's going to take on the tag team champions at WrestleMania, maybe. Nia and Alexa are setting up for some cool stuff. Finn, Seth, and The Miz for some cool stuff. Raw's doing great stuff over there. And then we had a great SmackDown Live, which we just talked about, with all of the cool stuff that's happening over there with AJ and Shinsuke, Bobby Roode and Jinder and Randy, and the tag champs, the Usos, probably with New Day and Bludgeon Brothers for the tag championships at WrestleMania. And of course, Charlotte and Asuka for the women's title. It's going to be fucking great, man. I'm really looking forward to WrestleMania. What a fantastic week of wrestling, guys. It's been amazing. Thank you for sticking around. If you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, it's Calling Spots Pod. If you want to get a hold of me on Instagram, it's Calling Spots Podcast. On Facebook, it's Calling Spots Podcast. And the email is callingspotspodcast@gmail.com. All of those are clickable in the description below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later this week for 205 Live and NXT review, which I think I'm going to probably put out on Friday. Sounds good to me. All right. Thank you guys so much. Never be ashamed to be a pro wrestling mark, because pro wrestling is awesome and everyone is welcome and we all love it. And at the end of the day, these guys and girls are doing things that we wish we were doing too, but we're not. Instead, we sit here and we talk about it. So why not be positive about it and be loving about it and be awesome about it? That's what this show is all about. So thank you very much. Never be ashamed to be a pro wrestling mark. Thank you. This is Calling Spots with Brian Kelly. I'm Brian Kelly. I'll see you guys later.